Hello and welcome to the Z-Hut. Today I'm going to show you two different ways that you can make a belt wrench. Now this is an actual store-bought one here. I have one and it's a very handy tool, but a lot of people don't need to use one of these very often. So instead of going, they're only like 15-20 bucks. But if you only need to use the thing like once every 5 years, you don't really need to go buy one. There is two different ways you can kind of make your own. One's just an improvised way that works very similar to how this does. And then the other is actually a homemade version of one of these. And I'm going to show you both. So I guess why don't we just get right down to it. The first one I'm going to show you here is just an improvised way to do this. And what you'll need is a belt. And a serpentine belt off a vehicle, a chunk of that would work really good. If you don't have that, a regular V-belt will work as well. Just don't use the kind of belt that, well, holds your pants up. That, you can give it a try, but I think it's going to slip and not work very well. Then besides that belt, you're going to need a pair of vice grips. And I've already set it up here because it takes a moment to get it on here. As you can see, you just take your belt and wrap it around. And I didn't have a serpentine belt laying around. When I get one of those, they usually get used up pretty quick for other things because there's lots of stuff you can make out of them. But I had this V-belt, and this will work as well. So what you do is you wrap it around, say, the pulley. Maybe you're trying to take your harmonic balancer off your vehicle to replace that. You can wrap this around it. And then take and get your vice grips up as close as you can and try to get it as straight on as you can and then clamp it down. Then when you go to turn, what it's doing is when you pull up or pull down on the vice grip, it tightens it up even more. And you can see I'm pulling pretty hard and the belt is not slipping on there. Now, if you had a serpentine belt on there, you could lock this in a vise and you probably break the belt before it would slip. All depends, if there's a little grease on the item you're working with, well, it might slip then. Now, that's just the easy improvised way to do it. This is something for, if this is the only time in the next 5 years you're going to need to do something like this, this is the way to go. But if you're going to be using it a little more often, and this is actually what I had before I got a hold of this. What you do is, again, I had a serpentine belt for that one, but once I quit using it, I threw it out. And, well, actually, I didn't throw it out. It got cut up because you can make handles, all kinds of different stuff out of a serpentine belt. What you want is either a tube or a square pipe. Now, about half the length of this would work. This is actually longer than it needs to be, but beans, I'm not going to keep this, and this is a nice chunk of aluminum tubing. I'm not going to cut it, but for this demonstration, you'll see how it works, and it'll work fine. Otherwise, yes, you're going to want a tube or square. It doesn't really seem to matter with the V-belt if it's square or round. If you're using a serpentine belt, I would use square tubing. And like I said, about 6 inches, maybe 7. I mean, you can see how long the handle is on this. You want it about that long. So then what you do is you push it through. There we go. And now you got this coming out now here. And this is the main reason why you're going to want a shorter, about half this, is because once you put it on, what you want to hold, you pull it tight. Then you fold these outwards. As you can see, there's not a lot on here. If this was much bigger than this, I wouldn't really have anything to hold on to. But once you've got them folded out, you can grab a hold of them. And there's tension being held. And look at that. There you go. This right here works as well as this. It's just, I ran across this. I actually got this for free, and I wasn't going to pass it up. So since I've gotten that, I use that. But before that, I mean, I didn't see a point in going buying one. They're so easy to make. And like you see, you can pull really hard on there and it works great. Like I said, serpentine belt does work a little better because it's wider. But a regular V-belt like this will work. You know, with the V-belt, you can use it in a tube. With the serpentine, you are going to want to go with the square tubing. It just isn't going to grab and hold as good. So, well, that's all there is to it. All there is to it. So, well, I hope you found this information useful. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. I would appreciate it big time. So, I would like to thank you for joining us here at the Z Hut today. I hope you have a great day, and remember, no, I remember my head here, I have head. He's a very senior. We can't feel the house. Yeah, it is here real well. That's my thing with you. Hey, you hey. Oh, so you can't miss enough. Oh, how? Boss. Oh, it's very long. Oh, it's very long. Oh, boss. Oh, it's a cool. I it's me with girls. The wall. I don't want to go. We want. Yeah, never so. And as we need loggy with me. Girl, so if you got loggy, really get rid of. Here you go. Just grab little girls that. Oh, yes, person. Yes, yeah. Here, screw. There, and I here, all. Easy, yeah. And easy. Oh, straight now, now. Oh, now, please sit down. I roll. I have to be I got this boss. Oh, the side. It was a. Night. Here for sit I get a chance it's not gonna be out. Six says it all night. Screw right here. Sit. All here. I little night. Oh, I need a chance in it. Oh, I got it off mom with I used to know. Now, loving anything they don't realize and you're getting to sit right now. I'll answer these easy. You're a wacky wolf. And yeah, wolf. Oh, no, you not you. No, sexy. Said by a girl, shall I agree on your name is Scenery on what's it tagging on you. Oh, worth shocking, which does. I don't be saying as a lane, and all he's speaking in a seeing position as all the second. He was real soothing and logging after us and you cannot. Not real sluggy, the third I am in the sealer because I take real circus and I want to green size yellow and out for a week. On this girl, he's swing here, so it's a bit on now. Maybe one of much Kansas and I said, I was need to be the senior and all those guys said, my girl said, you know, hi, one, the other, sir, who's her, I say, no, she, oh, that's the first off, that's the first thing, awful, and he is a car, I got over to the shower, and he spot over that, and the week, okay, that's no. No, either flood me after saying out Monday. Push no. Said the whole wagon. Marrow flying out though. He'll try to say. Marrow, and as a very fit. Okay, what's this? Said film was. Dinner, hearing out, standing, asking what this is. On your philosophy. So we just gave the album easy, it's just that one. That's not what I've done, girl. We went down the circles with one. That's all I could hear from Lark myself, and I said, now, we heard not slide me after a second on. And it was times it like the mod, and you're here for all. He's oh, me, I just left. That's myself, and my walker, I lost me, was in the oats, nurse, but all you did. Not milk, and he, he's in our ear, sitting here, and he's so suspect, every getting in it. And Marva said, I remember, I had seen a little of these powers, not like, I'm not going to get me, or screaming, he'll walk with it, smarter, I really just, was it her wolves and they thought beefs and they had a my lad came to be us the south is risen to the north of your cousin is all and I'll be out more and he'll squad after her sign is my yeah and then I'll retire and fly for city he's not it used to almost get is a very hot as you're on out and then he sparks the very hot mean and agree well as now some we're on the next thing is the after mas as nem vou pode nem fazer se vai her will pode really right bem hoje ela aquilo que vai da costa hoje pode nem as pessoas nem mas pode linhos também sabe eu já vou mais isso eu should not surf it was not your big não sei que oh, we all should have seen your game or how you guys are going in lots of water on the series moss scrolling. Yeah, was the Albert maintenance just no more game, and if we see it, we're free to see. There ain't no alcohol getting or what the theory now for us no if the eating you should so you know need 50 million or you know it's not the fire if you know so you need more people. Oh, you ain't here if you know I got. You know, Albert, some chances in law one. What? Him, say, over for you. We don't show. He's a club, Nick. Oh, my.